Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nazima and this is the second episode of my How to Stop series, and in this episode we are going to talk about how to stop comparing yourself to other people. Now, if you're someone who's always on social media, who's always watching other people's videos, posts, stories on Instagram and stuff like that, or maybe you are the person who just has people around you that you constantly get jealous of when you look at them and their life, and the first thing that I'm about to say is going to be that this is fine. This is fine to compare yourself to other people. This is just what we as human beings tend to do, period. Like, this is something that is as normal as overthinking. So let's always start from there. Comparing yourself to other people is normal. This is a normal emotion. This is a normal feeling, okay? And always feeling like you're missing out on something, that you're not doing enough, because if you were, you would have those things that that other girl or that other boy has, or you would be able to buy yourself an apartment and a car and have that good partner and travel the world and so on and so forth. So what is wrong with you? What are you doing so wrong that you don't have all those things, that you are not that person? Well, let me tell you, there is nothing wrong with you. And I wish somebody told me this before, because I was literally that person who actually cried so hard by comparing herself to other people. And those people were like celebrities or people on social media. But you know what? I'm already starting with my examples, as all my videos are based on my experience in my life, on what happened to me and how I overcame it, or how I got out of certain situations in my life. I always come back to the examples that happened in my own life so that you understand properly what I'm saying and explaining, right? So there was a time in my life that I was constantly comparing myself to one particular girl. I'm not going to say her name because I'm sure everybody knows her. She's a celebrity and she is literally my age. And that's why I constantly would get upset about her living that beautiful life and me not. You know, like, I would constantly think like, oh, she is my age and she drives that fancy car. Oh my God, she has her own home. Like, okay, she has her own house and it's so huge and it's so beautiful and she bought it herself. And she has this friend, she has this boyfriend, she's this, she's that, and so on. And basically, I would get so upset to that point that I would cry like every single day, because I would look at my reality, I would look at my life, and I would work a 9 to 5, 9 to 6, and and I would have literally no time for the things that I love to do. Trust me guys, there is no job for me from 9 to 6 that I would enjoy, because I don't enjoy being stuck in one place, being always in one place, always having to ask somebody for permission, for approval to go have a vacation or something like that. And you know what's really was killing me when I was working a 9 to 6 at the office? The realization that I was literally wasting my youth there. So basically, every single day for 9 hours, I would be somewhere doing something I didn't like, I didn't enjoy, that didn't serve the picture that I built in my mind for my own life. And when I would come home, I would have literally no time for anything I wanted to do. And that just made me like, I was going crazy with those thoughts. And when I would look at that girl on social media, I would look at her, how she dresses, the places she always travels to, her friends, her everything, and I would be like, oh my god, I wish I was her. I'm ready to trade lives with her. Like, that was that crazy. Okay, my condition at that time was unbelievably crazy. Trust me, I think I have never ever compared myself to somebody else that much as I did to her at that point in my life. And it went out of hand, and I started having this huge, I don't know how to say this, attacks. Like, I couldn't breathe or something, I couldn't sleep, and so on. Like, okay, this was really weird that I had to get a medication for calming my emotions down and to actually get a proper sleep. Okay, and that is why I am so invested into this topic of comparing yourself to other people, because it literally can drive you crazy, right? You can look at social media every day. You take your phone in the morning and you start scrolling on TikTok or on Insta, and you see these people and they're living their best lives. They're getting these brand deals. They fly to Italy, France, and the most beautiful countries in the world. And they're doing that a few times a year when you are stuck somewhere and you are not achieving anything, and you're like, okay, but like, how is that even possible? And you start comparing yourself to these people and you say, oh, they have this perfect body, they have all the time in the world, they are so talented, they have everything, they are rich, and so on. Like, the list is unlimited. You can compare yourself to every single detail in any person's life. And obviously you start comparing those people's lives to your own life. And so in this situation, the first thing that I would tell you to do is to accept this emotion and sit with it. And honestly ask yourself, why am I feeling this? Why am I comparing myself to that person? Because at the first place, we have different backgrounds. And it doesn't matter that we are the same age and stuff like that. We have different backgrounds, we have different lives, we have different life paths. And also always remind yourself about the quote, don't compare your chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 27 or something like that. Another thing is, all people are different, and you can ask two people to do the same task and they will do it differently, completely differently, and with different speed, with different quality, and so on and so forth. Like, you get the point. Not every person is the same, right? That is why I believe that comparing yourself to other people is pointless, because if you were given the same tasks that person that you're comparing yourself to was given, you would do it completely differently, with completely different speed, and you would get completely different results. One more lesson that I think is so important that I learned along the way was how when you compare yourself to someone who seems like they have everything in their life, and they are everything, they are successful, they live this beautiful life, like your dream life. Okay, imagine you see the person who lives your dream life and you're like, oh, okay. And there was this girl, young girl, that seemed like she lived this beautiful life, and everyone was jealous. Everyone would compare her themselves to that girl, thinking, oh, she's so young and she has it all, she travels, she owns this and that, and so on. Like, and then the time passed and I actually unfollowed her because I couldn't handle comparing myself to any other people anymore. And I just unfollowed everyone that I could possibly compare myself to, and I limited my time on social media so that I wouldn't see something that could trigger me or make me feel bad about myself. And then time passes and everyone finds out that that girl was actually struggling in her life so much. But she didn't show even 1% of her struggles on social media. She would only show how she would travel, her travel pictures, right? She would show how she's having fun with her friends and so on, but she had this huge depression and she had huge anxiety and something terrible was going on in her life. I don't remember the details, but that one thing that I found out made me finally realize that you seeing on social media these people is just an illusion, period. Like, this is not their life, okay? What they post on social media is not even 5% of their life. And that was a huge lesson for me to come back to gratitude. And that is why the next thing that I'm about to tell you is to go and start giving thanks for your life instead of dreading it. Look, if you are right now in the position that you hate yourself, you hate your life, you think you're not doing enough, you think your life is not enough, you think your dream life is so far away from you and that other people get your dreams, but you are never the one who is lucky enough to get that. You need to start giving thanks, okay, for anything. This could be the smallest things that come to your mind. Because see, when I found out about that girl, I was like, oh my God, I am so grateful for my life. And I started thinking of all the beautiful things in my life and I started giving thanks because look, there are things that are going on in your life right now that you take for granted. But if I were right now to take them away from you, you would be so unhappy, you would be left so miserable, and you would think, oh my God, I wish I could appreciate that thing when I had that thing. But now it's taken away from me and I can't do anything. Like, this is a huge loss for me. And trust me, you will think that. Time that you sit down and count your blessings. This exercise alone will help you ground yourself, first of all. Second of all, it will help you feel much better about yourself and about your life. And third of all, it will help you attract more beautiful things into your life. See, when you are grateful for even the smallest things in your life, God or the universe, whatever you believe in, will make effort to bless you with much more than you are given thanks for, okay? And I've provided you with so many examples from my own life of how gratitude changed it, even for the smallest things. And if you haven't seen my video on how gratitude can change your life, I will link it here and you can check it after watching this video. And that is why in the description of this video, I will link Notion template where you can start gratitude journaling. And trust me, this will change your life. So just take that one step. By the compound effect, how in a few months you will feel so much better about yourself, about your life, and you will notice so many beautiful things in your life and a lot of blessings. Okay, now I want to talk about how you can turn your comparison and your jealousy into inspiration. So imagine you are constantly comparing yourself to that one particular person on Instagram. And every time you see their posts, you see their stories, you're like, oh my God, like I already start to hate that person because I want to live that life. I want to be able to do all the things that that person does and to have all the things that that person has. And you can right now sit down and think about it this way. Look, that person that you are comparing yourself to and that you're feeling so freaking jealous of is just a normal human being. It's not a supernatural creature. They don't have like magic powers or any like other powers that you don't have at your disposal. They are just a human being, period. And you are too. And what one human being could do, you can do too. And you can right now choose to be inspired by that fact alone and actually take actions in order to achieve all the things that you want to see in your life, all the things that you want your life to be. See, most of the people who made it, they started with nothing. They were nothing, but they turned their life around by making it something, by making it everything, okay? And you can right now, from wherever you are, whatever level on you think you are, you can start from anything. But the most important thing is that you actually start, that you actually do something. Because when you start doing something in order to achieve things that you want to have in your life, that you want your life to be like, you will stop comparing yourself to any other person and you will stop feeling jealous, because you will feel here that you are actually doing stuff and in no time you will be there. Like, the time will pass anyway, but you will do stuff, you will make effort, you will invest your time, your energy, your skills, your everything, but you will get there, okay? And see, here also what really helps you is to think about it this way. You comparing yourself to that person and feeling jealous of them will never change your situation, will never change your life. In fact, it will only drain you more and more the more you do it. So what is it in this for you? Nothing, right? You feeling jealous of that person benefits you in no way at all. So why do that? And if it's really hard, you can always turn off social media, don't go there, don't look at their stories, don't look at their posts, don't look at what they write, do not like interact with that profile or anything anymore, period. And if it's a person who physically is present in your life that you're comparing yourself to, you can always limit your interaction with that person too. And focus on yourself. See, when it's so bad that you're comparing yourself to other people and you're feeling jealous, you just step aside and you focus on yourself. Always focus on yourself. Like I always say this, in any situation, in any problem that you have to always come back to yourself and see where that is coming from, where those emotions are coming from, okay? And just focus on yourself and your life, because only you can change it. Nobody can change it for you. Nobody will come and save you. Nobody will come and tell you, okay, you're feeling jealous, I will feel sorry for you, so I will give you this life that you want. Unfortunately, that doesn't work that way. And all the time, in every situation, you are the only person who can save you and who can give you whatever you want in your life. And also, just to lift you up, I will give you an example of what happened to me yesterday. I watched this YouTube video of the YouTuber that I love, and she is actually the person who always dreamed about being a YouTuber, and she was the inspiration for me. She actually inspired me to become one, because when I was 16 and I was so down in my life, I had no self-worth, I hated myself, I hated everything, and I was so depressed, okay? Like, I stumbled upon her channel when I went to YouTube and I wrote how to start loving yourself, and her video popped up and I started watching her video, and I really liked it. It was so beautiful, whatever she said, it was so calming, you know. And then I started watching all the other videos that she had, and yesterday I watched a new video that she uploaded on YouTube, and she said like she has new chapters in her life, like she achieved certain goals that she set for herself and now she is going further, right? And I started like, oh, she's going further, she achieved her goals, I didn't, I set myself this and that and those goals and I didn't achieve them. And I started like, you know, panicking, I started feeling sorry for myself and so on. But then I was like, excuse me, but she is doing YouTube for how many years? For 10 years. Like, she is doing YouTube for more than 10 years. What am I talking about? Like, and I started remembering how I would watch her videos throughout my teenage years, since I was like 16, when I was at uni and so on. And I just started last year, like, and of course that just grounded me, and I was like, okay, I need to calm down, literally. And I just told myself, she was doing YouTube even back then, like, how can I compare myself to her? So what I was doing yesterday was I was comparing my chapter 1 to her chapter 29, okay? And yeah, that is the thief of joy. Don't do that. Always ground yourself and think, you know, it doesn't mean that you will never get there. It doesn't mean that you will never have whatever you are trying to get, whatever you're trying to achieve. No, it just means that you just started, you are just learning, you are a work in progress. But eventually, of course, you are getting that thing, of course you are achieving that goal, no doubt. So I hope you really enjoyed this video, guys. I thank you so much for watching till the end, and I will see you in the 3rd episode of my How to Stop series. Bye bye. Oh, and also, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and make sure you share this video with someone you think needs to hear the advice. Thank you so much. Bye.